Can we reactivate our competitive instinct, or is that something only young players truly have? Welcome to Darts is Fun! Today I'm going to talk about something personal as a reflection on my preparation for the Swedish Championship, which happens this weekend. It's not about technique, not about equipment, but it's about something many adult players quietly struggle with. Learning how to compete again. Because enjoying the game and competing in it are not always the same thing. And for many of us, the relationship with competition changes a lot as we get older. Throwing darts alone at home is fun. It's relaxing. It's almost meditative. You can focus, improve, enjoy the rhythm. But the moment we start playing with others, something changes. It becomes a competition. And there is no person on earth who truly enjoys losing. That part doesn't change with age, but the emotional reality around it becomes completely different. When we are young, we don't care too much about what losing means. We just want to play, try, win if possible, and then try again. I remember when I played football as a kid, the only thing I cared about was scoring goals. I didn't care whether I should pass the ball, how many chances I missed, or how it looked to others. I could miss 10 times in a row and still try again with the same confidence. There was no real fear attached to it. No pressure, no comparison, just the game. But as an adult, things feel different. Missing a double is no longer just a missed opportunity. Sometimes it feels heavier than that. It can suddenly become connected to how we see ourselves. Whether we are good enough, whether we belong, whether we deserve to stand there. And that shift can be surprisingly strong. The older we become, the more comparison comes into the picture. We don't just play the game anymore. We start measuring ourselves against time. We might think, I started too late, I lost years, I need to catch up, I need to improve quickly before it gets too late. I remember that I googled many times for results of professional players over 40. I looked up who the oldest players are on the PDC circuit, just for reference of course. But if I'm honest, it wasn't just curiosity. It was more like searching for reassurance, trying to answer the question, is there still space for someone like me in this sport? And I believe many adult players have had this thought at some point, even if we don't say it out loud. And then there are moments that really test your ego. Last year in Finland, I lost against a 15-year-old boy. He could easily be my son and he played incredibly well. I remember that after the match, I wasn't thinking about the mistakes I made. I wasn't analyzing my decisions. I wasn't thinking about the missed doubles or my scoring. Instead, my mind went somewhere else completely. I was thinking about the age difference, how young he was, how long I've been practicing, and what this result meant. Of course, I congratulated to his dad, and I meant it. He was proud and he had every reason to be. But inside, my ego was buried deep underground. For a moment, I was even asking myself, am I useless? Should I stop competing? And I think that tells a lot about how competition feels as an adult. It's not just about the result, it's about identity. But after some time, I realized something important. These moments don't destroy you. They challenge you, and if you allow them, they can make you stronger, not just as a player, but as a person. So what does competitiveness really mean? And is it something we either have or don't have? We often think of it as a natural gift. Some people are born competitors, others are not. But I don't think it's just that simple. For some people, competition is a natural driver. They enjoy pressure, they seek it, they need it. For others, it feels uncomfortable, stressful, even unnecessary. So to keep life simpler, they try to avoid it. But I've started to see competitiveness less as a personality trait and more as a trained response to discomfort. When we are young, we are constantly out of our comfort zone. Everything is new and everything is a challenge. And because of that, trying and failing feels to be normal. But after 40 years of life experience, we know much more about it, what feels safe and what feels risky. We've had successes and we've had disappointments. We learned what hurts. And naturally, we start to protect ourselves more, So stepping into competition again means stepping into discomfort again. And that's not always easy. But the good news is that comfort zone is not fixed and it can be expanded at any age. And every time we put ourselves into a situation which feels slightly uncomfortable, we train that muscle again. Now that I completed my preparation for the next big competition, I feel this very clearly. There is excitement, there is motivation, but there is also a certain weight to it. Not because I need to prove something to others, but because I've decided to challenge myself more seriously. And that's an important difference. I didn't start playing darts because I wanted to be a competitor. I started because I loved the game. I loved practicing, and I loved those moments at the board when time disappears. At some point I realized that if I really wanted to grow, I need to step into environments that push me. Situations where I feel pressure, where I can't control everything, where I might fail. Not because I'm obsessed with winning, but because competing forces you to learn things, but practice alone never will. It shows you really where you are. And in many ways, that brings everything together. The kid who just wanted to score goals, the adult who sometimes feels the weight of comparison, the moment of losing to someone much younger and questioning yourself, and the realization that growth often lives on the other side of discomfort. I still play darts because I love the game. That hasn't changed. But I choose to compete because I wanted to level up. I wanted to see how far can I go and to learn something about myself through the process. Competition for me, it's not the reason I play. It's the path to use to grow within the game I love. I don't see it as a test whether I'm good enough. I see it as another step outside my comfort zone. Another chance to learn, another chance to experience something real. And maybe that's what building a competitive mindset as an adult really means. Not becoming someone else, not forcing a personality that isn't natural, but slowly learning to be comfortable with discomfort again. Have you had the same struggles, dilemmas, and learnings? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Great that you've listened in today, and I hope you will come back next week as well. But don't forget, darts is fun, watch and play every day. Cheers!